So this video is going to be weird for me because I woke up today and I was like, oh yeah, I must have uploaded the second part of Moriko, and I looked on my channel and there was no second part. And so either I was dreaming or something really weird happened. But here I am recording this now, and it'll for the viewer it might feel weird because I'll be talking in the past as I'm recording now, because me recording now, this is in the future of the recording that's going to come tomorrow, and that'll make sense by tomorrow, but past Jordan won't know that. So, ill-fated, by the way, and I'm gonna sneeze, but Goizel first. I lost the sneeze. Anyway, for time's sake, let's get into Goizel ill-fated into a Moriko. So yes, there's supposed to be 3 episodes. This is the second episode that's replacing the old second episode that never appeared, because when I actually went to look. So to finish the thought that I finished before the timestamp, as we get light, second mystery, strength, knowledge, charisma, and maybe every single stat check, with dexterity being the last, possibly. I forgot what I was gonna say. So off we go. Oh goodness. But basically, past Jordan made errors. Oh yeah, so the video was actually corrupted, and I couldn't even salvage the recording because obviously, working with the corrupted recording means that when you render a video, it's not going to be end well as well. So. Yeah, into this Moriko run. Again, the main reason I made this mini Moriko run was because of real life me probably doing something. But because I realized that there was a mistake, I'm recording this now. So Recluse, Ward, let's actually get focused on the run. 3 boss mysteries immediately. 4 actually. I didn't see Metamorphosis there for a moment. And then Ramen. We can skip Ward, so technically it's still 3, but it doesn't change the fact I have to go through 3 bosses in a row. Funny enough, I think I might just do Recluse first. Yeah, let's do Recluse first. The reason to do Recluse first as Moriko is because you can immediately do 4 damage severs, and you're dealing with a low base boss. I don't know if throwing the empty bottle breaks the threshold, because I do not remember. I don't often take Recluse first. So, not that I couldn't do math. If you've ever seen anyone, not just me, talk about base values, for those who don't understand, basically there are enemies have a base HP that's scaled with the mystery. So I'm trying to remember what essentially the boss of Recluse, the roommate here, what their HP is at base, because that will be the value I'm about to run into. And I guess I'm going to find out regardless. It's just that it would help to know that if throwing a bottle of water would make a difference. I feel like it would, though. I feel like it's 20 HP. Let's see if I guessed correctly. 22 HP, never mind. So, you need 6 extra damage, and the reason why I say 6 is because with the regular weapon that does 4 base damage, and you have at least 4 knowledge, you'll deal 4 damage per sever. That means 8 damage per turn, times 2 is 16, so that leaves 6 HP for me to deal with. That being said, 6 reason here isn't the worst thing in the world. It's a lot of reason damage to take, but because of the rest of this bonus, and hopefully you keep the bath, you'll be healing 3 reason back. That's the math, so. The short way to say all of that is that I'm going to be losing 3 reason overall. Shrug, that's all I have to say. But yeah, it's Moriko. Moriko, it feels really, really nice to be able to just walk into Recluse and be like, hey, I'm only going to take 3 reason damage. You could be taking more due to the events, and but that's more a knowledge check. I think it's actually quite hard, and there might only be one event where you could possibly lose reason against your will. That's not the phrasing I wanted to use, but I think there's only one event. There might be 2, but I don't remember. Anyway, Ward, Akamanto, Metamorphosis. So I think we take. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. I feel like it does, though, for a reason I can't explain. But okay, with Daddy's Girl, though, yeah, let's take Akamanto first. I'm just monkey braining that. So with Akamanto, you're taking stamina damage, more stamina damage, but in Metamorphosis, you're taking just as much damage overall. So either way, it doesn't really matter, basically. But if you need deft handling, I think I would advise you to take Akamanto first, even if you don't have handcuff tech, because it's much nicer, I feel. Is that true? That might not be true. But either way, you take one of the bosses first, then you can level up and possibly get deft handling. Now, I already have deft handling, but the point stands. Basically, the general way to think about it is that if your character can get something good from leveling up, then you want to save a harder mystery till later. Not that much later if a point of damage matters to you, especially on Harbinger difficulty. But if it makes the difference, and it probably will make a difference, or at least save you some HP if you're being efficient, then yes, I would advise you to take the hardest mystery third. And again, the specific reasoning for those who have not been with this channel for long and I have never heard it explained. Oh my sweet goodness. Out of my control, by the way. I could have rested. I didn't even realize I was at 3 reason. Well, this was looking like a good run until this happened to me. Well, that's me in RNG and my... I should have just rested, but we'll play another run. So what I was saying is, take your hardest mystery third. That's the, I guess, base World of Horror advice for the day. I forgot what I was going to say because of that RNG, but I guess we'll go until you got that Fatalist run. I'm trying to say so much in a small amount of time, and I end up... That's a big reason of why I stumble over my words. Anyway, ill-fated, right? Am I going crazy? Well, I'm already in, so, hey, I'm past the point of no return. You got that ill-fated, we go. Yeah, so, on Harbinger of Doom difficulty, I do feel that 4th mystery damage increase is quite damaging. That being said, if you can't take the 3rd mystery that you want to for whatever reason, don't. Yeah, that's not really much else to say at the moment. 2nd mystery, Takashi's on Charisma, 2nd encounter, Dexterity, Strength. And really, only I could have botched that up because, yeah, that's me autopiloting to some extent. Deft Handling, again, would be nice, otherwise Daddy's Girl. I think... for to talk about Moriko's perks, yeah, Deft Handling is the breadwinner. Daddy's Girl and to some extent Ammo Stash would be 2nd and 3rd in my opinion. I don't remember if Moriko has a 4th, and if she does have a 4th, that's actually a little worse unless it's amazing like Core Strength, Adrenaline, Fast Swimmer, Sailors Festival, Mermaid's Teacher, Ramen. So not as many boss encounters here. Mermaids you can skip, Sailors will save for last. Festival 4th then? Yeah, Festival 4th. We'll take Teacher now. Moriko also has the luxury of having 6 strength, so if you take Teacher immediately, you can immediately brace into Teacher attack. Again, for those who don't know, or for no other reason than to repeat for myself, the reason why 6 strength is important in Teacher is because you can brace the Teacher attack and still deal damage. If you don't do that, and you just go for double attacks, you could get badly bleeding, which can cause you more problems later on. It's not the worst thing in the world, it's essentially usually it's going to be a break-even thing, but if for whatever reason you need to grab funds, you might just end up taking like 2 for Doom, and then just pain happens. So, I think we were actually... Are we actually No, we're not visiting the hospital anymore. Yeah, so we don't have... I don't think we have Warden and we don't have Coma, so... your other more... Oh, that's right, I'm on ill-fated. Your other more less base advice, kind of more min-maxing type of advice is... I forgot what I was going to say. I really need to stop doing that. By the way, ill-fated back-to-back Yogathag penalty. This is not what you want to see. But again, because we're playing as Moriko, we thankfully have the power... Oh my goodness, pain, by the way. Why am I taking so much damage? I don't want to actually fire at this enemy. Again, ringing ears is a very, 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 very bad thing. -2 all here isn't the worst thing, though. So, yeah, we should be able to just do this. And as you can see, Moriko, this is without Deft Handling. That's quite good. Actually, that was not who I thought it was, but we could equip the box cutters as well. These will be better for us at the moment. Now, what I just realized is that maybe I should not have done this, but it's too late. If the box cutters don't break, that would be nice. We're actually going to take a risk here. And then Sensor Bunny will go on screen immediately. So yeah, even with bonus damage, I don't think we would have gotten out right now. We wouldn't have. So, and then as seen here, yeah, badly bleeding here. Again, it's not usually going to be bad, but it can be bad. Because if nothing else, you have to prepare, I think, once, and then enter the doctor's office. So if you need to enter the doctor's office anyway, again, that's why I say you're just going to break even, because you're going to pick up the painkillers as well. Or you should pick up the painkillers if you didn't know. And yeah, not really much else to say at the moment. But if for whatever reason, the next mystery you have, like say you take Teacher 4th for whatever reason, you don't brace because you're like, oh, 4 Doom, but I'm just going to defeat the enemy in like 3 turns. So, and then you enter like Festival and you have badly bleeding, you're at a net loss, I feel. So, unless you get lucky, but I would not advise trying to be lucky there. So Mermaids, Do I actually take Festival second? I think I'm just going to take Festival second. Deft handling, please. Yes. And off we go. But anywho. Yeah, that's my segue phrase. I didn't have anything to segue to. But still, though, I think there's a Doom decrease overall, right? Yeah, it is. Well, it's negative HP, but if you have reason to spare like I do at the moment, you know what? Actually, I should just do this now. Yeah, let's just do this now. And off we go. Now we have Ill-Fated. That's a bit dangerous in a non-town mystery, but if your luck is not on the floor, if it's not terrible, then yeah, you probably can get rid of the hermit there and be just fine. Deft handling, by the way. Deft handling? No, that's just Moriko being Moriko with the box cutter broken. Now, 3 dexterity is actually quite low, so that's not even a Moriko specific thing, but makes me feel better. But yeah, let's re-equip the old shotgun. Now, again, a smaller piece again of min-maxing is that if you have, say, ramen or sailors in your run, you might as well keep the box cutters and not throw them or, do anything weird with them, so that you have an item to throw away. That's something that's in the back of my mind. I don't remember if I have. I think I have sailors. Yeah, I have sailors at the end. So, oh my goodness, my reason, by the way. Ill-fated catastrophes. We're at the end of the mystery, so thankfully we survived, but here is where I would tell you, or where if you asked me, Jordan, should I rest here in my next town mystery? I would say yes, you can do that. This reason is low enough to warrant that, especially if you are like me and you don't remember a lot of the events. So, old gods forbid you're playing with a lot of custom events, because then you are essentially doubling or if not tripling the number of events you need to remember. But here we can heal reason. If you're feeling lucky, though, you can just leave yourself at 3 reason and take the experience here for the purposes of doing a desperate struggle. That's not a bad idea, all things considered, but me being me, pain can happen. So yeah, mermaids into ramen, I think. And if we're lucky, so this is also a very specific, I guess more of a gamble, is that you can choose to take ramen 4th here and have it in your mind that, yes, even though enemies may be dealing 1 more damage, because you're only visiting 2 locations, at most, or usually, you're gonna only run into 2 enemies. If you're unlucky, you'll run into 3 in ramen. And that's important to note, because in a lot of other mysteries, you can fight 3 or 4 enemies. You're much more likely to fight 3 or 4 enemies in a non-ramen mystery, basically, because you're visiting so many other locations. Now, that being said, that doesn't go into things like, as you just saw, mystery-linked events, or just events in general, but anywho, let's see. We're doing mermaids here, right? I think I should still be able to open this manhole. Unfortunately, yeah, what I was going to say is that I might have wanted to shoot this enemy. I don't think that's going to happen anymore, unfortunately. Do I want to actually... I'm trying to think. So we can stop here and actually strategize for a moment. So the conundrum I'm in right now is that if I shoot this enemy, I think I can still manhole at the end. The other problem is what happens if I run into another enemy and I decide to shoot this one. But let me ask the question first. Can I actually one-shot this enemy? Probably if I take a risk, right? Yeah, 97%. So, and the attack is guaranteed. Unfortunately, I failed. I think I failed the 98% before. I think that was the worst one. Correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe I failed the 99%. I would not put that past me. Actually, I can guarantee this, so never mind. No RNG needed. We're just going to shoot this enemy. So, if we can't manhole for or do the school action, shrug, I guess we die. We're on ill-fated, so we'll just take the doom here. We're on our 3rd mystery being at 37% doom. This is actually quite good. Unfortunately, Yogata can just say no to all of that, and so can just so... If you had rested there, you would be correct. Why do I do this to myself? There are literally any number of schools. I know school has a lot of ways to lose reason. It's not like... You should not be running into events like this so often, though. That being said, so I could have done any number of things to avoid this. I could have leveled up and healed reason. Could have just rested immediately, but I thought, maybe, just maybe. But the answer is no, so...